the root doesn't do anything on their own. I picked the Moonfire on 3 targets. The start will definitely be a bit slow because I don't have any massive epic power. I can Moonfire that, and now I have 50% increased damage. And the interesting thing. Usually would expect it gets harder because the enemies have more HP, but after 12, I become so busted as a druid. I mean, rerolling at the start for getting the right affixes and powers is a thing if you need it. Because it's such a long thing, and you can basically instantly reroll. It's not even anything I would blame anyone for, because it's like, I'd rather have perfect starting condition than risk potentially wasting 2 hours. 2 hours isn't a short amount of time, and it might even be longer. I always calculate 2 to 3 hours for these final. Yeah, that's definitely 8. The enemies have 6k HP. I have healer stats. The start is easier than in the other one, I think. In the regular, maybe they have a bit more HP.
Action is coming.
Definitely. I'm gonna get that mount.
Boy next door.
But you see, without any powers, I'm kinda. My damage is pretty scuffed. I have 197 item level. But I believe in the druid. That's a kinda useless shit, but Barkskin is a decent power. The Barkskin power gets stronger with your HP. A lot of stuff has HP and intellect scaling. Of the auto damage stuff as well. So even if you see a low number at the start, it actually can become really big. Of all the auto proc stuff and all the... Now I can activate that, and they all take a lot. Druid becomes so godlike at the... Druid is OP. That's why I went for the corridors as Druid. It's no secret that Druid is pretty. Especially when I get the Lycara Sash power, where basically turn into permanent... I have permanent uptime on Stampeding Roar and permanent Starfall uptime as a resto. That power makes the gameplay so fun and fluid. It's so OP as a power, but it feels so good playing with it actually. And you can go more glass cannon in a group. I think Druid is pretty good in a group as well. There's like some powers that I can never really utilize. Like there's a power that I had in one run 3 times that Regrowth has a high chance to reduce the cooldown of a major ability on a tick by 1 second. So with 3 I would have a massive cooldown reduction on every friend. Of course if I keep it up. But the last run I had, I was really damn OP. I had the Venthyr power that every floor I lose 5% HP but get 15% more damage. I bursted down the final boss with my Convoke Spirit and had 650k DPS at the end on that final boss fight. I don't think I've ever did more in this. And I even forgot to use my 30% more damage potion. That was probably the most busted run. Running these.
Greetings, friend.
think without swapping Covenants I wouldn't be able to. Convoke Spirit is busted kinda. Even though it's a Hearthstone ability. But you get the power that the Convoke Spirit picks higher value abilities, like dropping full moons. These really big bursts are fun, man. The only issue I have that the build variety, because you get so many powers, you kind of hit the limit on so many abilities. Kind of like I know how many common powers of a certain kind I get, and I'm kind of on the oh yeah, I will 100% sure get this power enough that I cannot get it anymore. That's kind of so all the builds are kind of always the same in the end. The playstyle is still fun of that build, but there's no variety in the build. That's kind of the issue there. So, and if you play it like 8 times in a row the same, still a bit monotonous. What if you kind of lacks the. But like you should add more powers, and some powers that in some way restrict what other powers you get or and like that you pick a power package in a way at the start. But I'm not sure how much Blizzard spends on it. They could really expand on this as an expansion feature. But it wouldn't necessarily add with the gear progression that it. I've had mages with their fire, but the thing is for me there's no other builds. There's like if I get the powers, I will always end up with a similar thing. Because everything kind of plays around the same playstyle. I guess regular Torghast has a different build that works. That falls off as well, kinda. On the final. Regular Torghast has the outfight AFK build for Druid, the literally the most degenerate thing that doesn't work here because the bosses have so much HP and regen, and you get so many procs that put you in fight with the bosses. Like where you root the boss and just literally AFK it out. You can pick your nose while fighting the final boss and still win in the regular Torghast. What do you mean you lose one every time you get? Oh, you mean a mirror image? Oh, I see. Now I get what you. You lose the mirror images. I'm just chilling here with the resto HP. They're both really good. I like that one so much. That power is so cool. Getting all the affinity. You know the other one is really strong. But being so slow feels kind of bad. I have the movement speed of Cat on. The tankiness of such a busted power for. I literally get 12% damage reduction out of. I get 30% movement speed. The boomkin range doesn't matter. The druid gets so much reduction stuff that you can have on. I think of all the classes, probably only Monk and Warlock I would rate higher now that in the end. Demo, Warlock, and Monk are probably the most busted things for this. I don't know if you ever seen the shit Monks do with getting like crazy amount of HP and then then just touch of death on everything without a cooldown kinda. I'm getting good stuff in. I don't like this power, but I might just pick it to get it out of the pool. Because plundered anima cells, I kill everything in every stage. Might take a bit, but I rather play it a bit slower and more safe than being forced to do it again. I guess there's actually some merit in that power. Because then I can focus if I have multiple targets, the one with the power first. And now that's a good one. Dots tick 30% faster. But if I learned one thing about the way you play this part specifically of target, stat powers are king, because stat powers stack indefinitely, while all the other powers you run out of powers, and in the end you end up with only shit powers remaining in the pool.
My flute. I will get to somewhere safer. Thank you so much.
That's the good one. 50% damage increase on the convoke. Unfortunately, you can only get 2 of those max, but double damage convokes with dropping wounds at the end. It's pretty damn strong. And that makes it the pro of caps on power, you actually run out of powers. Like there's the 140 stat one for the neutral that you can get 3 times. It's like I know exactly which powers I can get which amount of time. That's why you have to always pick stat powers when you can over these, because you're like, oh yeah, I can get this whenever. Because you at the end you get like only more red than that shit if you hit your good powers too early, or you good common ones too early. And also that kind of leads to that the builds are the same, because I get all the powers. All the playstyles, and then obviously you do the best for the situation, which then will kind of always be the same. Because obviously it wouldn't fool around to die to stupid shit because of, I don't know, random power seems funny or something. Because you can do that in the regular fooling around with random. I feel like they could fix it by just adding straight up way more powers. Oh shit, can get far enough. That's the thing that they could fix. Adding way more powers. Maybe some powers exclude other powers in a way. Like, could add way more completely random funky stuff. They completely turn around what a power does. And also I don't really like how necessarily the auto attack stuff too much, because a lot of times you end up with, if you assume you dodge all the mechanics, it ends up with a damage race against the auto attacks. That they maybe should have more abilities that are cone targeted or something. It's hard to change it because it takes a lot of effort to. Yeah, they would need to do it for further, like for the next content patch with some new stuff to unlock with some difference. Because cosmetic content is fine as a pure thing to unlock. Like if it's taking a lot of skill to get through it, I still think it's relatively easy. That being said, the lowest common denominator is struggling a lot. Maybe because of class sometimes. I got that filled up. Because when the next content patch is out, they obviously this is still in some way relevant, so they gotta expand on that in some way. Because you might need to do more targets to upgrade your legendaries so they are still relevant. I assume that something like that could be with. But they will need to add way more power, so else everyone is kind of ending up being super fed up with all the. Because you play the same thing. The weekly thing doesn't. The problem is how much will Blizzard invest in this over the regular stuff, because they also said they will bring back tier sets, so they will also add. I even got a moon. A lot of people are also kind of voicing that they don't like it. I actually like Torghast, even though it's. Oh, it's flaws. At least I don't think it's conceptually flawed. I just feel like that they need to work on it. I mean, that's fine. It's a mode that's 1 to 4 players. They kind of took that idea with the whole thing a bit from Final Fantasy. You know, Final Fantasy has still quite a bit of a different thing. You have a separate level and complete new gearing system in there, but they don't have any special powers like that. In Final Fantasy 14, the equivalent, you can actually level your character or your classes rather with it. Because every character is every class at the same time. I didn't play it too much though in fun. But it was always 4 players there. Since there's powers, it's kind of like. Well, it's still kind of difficult to balance it around 1 to 4. But I think it's fine I've never played it as a group, so I don't know how if there's any varying difficulties in whether you play it solo in a group to some extent. But I think that there isn't that big of a difference, probably. If you want to play. I don't think they should stop with making it a group answer. Blizzard kind of patched early on some of these, like when they made the changes that nobody liked, kind of with the some kind of having hope that they may care a lot about the Torghast as an expansion feature, like islands which sucked so much ass. Reset. Do they not reset in this? I don't think Blizzard cares too much about getting you a lot of anime. Since it's cosmetic, they don't really care too much about giving you much catch-up for the anime. They will probably make it faster at some point to get further, but I don't think they will give you as crazy of a catch-up as it was with where your performance was actually. We use it. It's hurting a lot at the end. All of these. When you get weekly bosses 250 and you get in the raid you get some and every M plus gives you 35. Because I think it's calculated around, because for performance you need to get your 1000 a week and then you're kind of done for the week on the mandatory part, so Blizzard calculates around that it's not that rough getting those up. Alright, solve this thing. Oh, that's fast. Here's the first comparison, because this always seems nice, but I never really use it. Crit chance. Red power. It's a good one. This one is really strong as well, but you need the HP for surviving this. The more red power is so much HP. Because you will always get the 100%. I'm not getting good luck on the offensive side. Means that We have a slow kind of start. I can still fight it. I can probably still fight these. Could even fight these guys without any powers. So bad. That's probably the. I get my box soon. And I kick his ass. Yeah, first shop floor 124 is kind of fine. It's the ghoul. That's pretty easy, get the moon.
May I tempt you with my wares?
Now here's the trick to it. Always buy the crit, you always buy the HP increase, always buy the 5. And I guess go with down. Nothing kinda. And that's kind of my secret to this whole 18 layer thing, because you get the limited amount of powers makes this limited amount of stuff. Because this, I can get this, but I can get it later on as well. I can only get 3 of these. But these I can always stack further. I can buy them now, and every shop will have a stat, maybe random HP. I can buy that on every shop if I'm lucky enough to get a good one there. Stats are king.
Transaction.
Oh, that's good. You could get it out of the pool if you. Such damage is pretty good as. Yeah, let's get one of these. I kinda wanna have some left.
You are hunted. Be wary. I don't have the Predator time, resto.
you know. But the prowl thing is really good, kind of for the opener. You know, I can't really utilize it too much because I play resto boomkin. Because to really use it, I want to be in an eclipse state, but I can use it for the starting Wrath, and the Wrath gets damage increased kinda, and have like for the first few ticks. But there's another thing with the prowl power that actually works in the regular Torghast. You know that with the root power that you can kill stuff outfight. I've noticed in layer 8 of the regular stuff, you kind of can't really kill the bosses anymore. But there's a trick to increasing your root damage by literally staying outfight and spamming prowl to increase the damage of the roots, because it actually stacks with that as well. Kind of a bit of a more degenerate type build, but it works. There's one thing that I've noticed with this one here. This is a bait. This is literally bait. Immune to silence and interrupt effect. I've never been silenced and interrupted in this one. What? The 9% crit is busted. That's the important thing. Yeah, it's just a bait. Don't get jebaited in any of these other stupid powers. 9% crit is god tier. Because you get so many critical damage increases. I know I can clear every floor with, aside from the boss powers by just regular getting purely boss powers. I don't need any help with AoE stuff necessarily. Doesn't mean that I wouldn't pick it in comparison to absolute dog shit, but the only thing that I focus on is, will this power help me with the final boss? If yes, then I pick it. That's how I play this one. Oh, there's one up there. I wonder if they allow me to be here. I can actually get that with the Boomy disengage. Even without powers, I may be slow at clearing this, but I can clear it slowly and steadily. But I cannot do that on the boss, because the boss stacks up and will eventually just straight up one punch me if I'm not strong enough. And I feel like a lot of people may pick powers that aren't helping killing them the boss. Then they reach the boss stage and die at their floor 18 or something. I think I've seen people say that they have no chance or got one shot by the boss because they don't pick the HP powers at any chance. They don't buy it in every shop over the other damage increasing powers. The HP power is absolutely first buy. Did you get the power with the one where you lose HP? I always have more HP. Like in the last run I had 60k. That's a lower HP amount, but I had the HP that reduces 5% each floor, so I had like 650k burst at the end. That helped as well with bursting the boss before he even does anything. But in the run before, I had a lot of HP. I had 200k HP in Boomkin form. I'm overly cautious with these. Define a convoke. Now we have 100%. We cannot get on the upper floor. I don't get what's the point of. There was one guy with a power up, and it's just impossible to get because there's literally no path up. Alright. I don't know how you're supposed to get that one. If you ever had it, if there's a way up there, I can show you the guy up there. Like I can see that this guy has that power, but how do I get up there? There's another power up here as well. What's the point of something that spawns up there if I cannot do anything about it? There's even stuff here, but here that's closed. Kind of feels bad having that a power, even 2 powers be wasted like that. If there's something that I can do to catapult me up or something, I don't know, maybe a toy or something, and you can tell me and I check if I have it or not. But I currently don't think it's possible for me to get it. I'll probably pull both at the same time. Make sure that this red doesn't run in there and catch a full moon. Carbonate is so good for the slow start. Certain point I do so much AoE damage that I cannot keep a red like that around. And while I'm weak, I don't really want the guys to spawn. Just keep it hibernated. Whatever. I got a lot of these boomkin damage increases that I get with the powers. Kind of what makes resto busted because of the lowered HP and the stuff kind of being on the similar scaling as for boomkins. the full moon or just the stuff that makes me cast Starfall. How big is that? That one big room. No power already. I want it to be 1 minute again. I haven't been offered any of them. I guess the damage increases. Good now. I only need the power to have the high priority on big stuff. It's the rat. The second I thought that there were 2 chains still on that, then we'd have to go back. I assume with big item level, you would probably just snore through that, because you would be so much more powerful this. Oh, we got the AFK power. That one was just mastery. Mastery doesn't increase my damage as resto. Now I basically have the free ticket to kill every elite for now. Or even stronger than my regular damage with this one. He might even die faster. No, never mind. It's about my main damage. If only Rogue could do something with... I feel like if Rogue wouldn't have the enemies reset the HP when you vanish, then I would be okay. Like, there's so many vanish powers that are straight up dead powers. I guess one does kind of take 20 million years for actually finishing off that boss. Oh, the proc gave me it. What is that? Procs kinda aren't good for that. Maybe I need to just stay further away. Yeah, we have it. Convoke Spirit chooses exception as well as significantly more than out. Now Convoke is big league. Dropping moons back to back. Double damage. It should be more than enough for the early stages, kinda. Layout is bad. I think I had it a few times though.
You are hunted. Be wary.
Take these out of the pick. I don't want them to soak the moons when I pull the big boy. And I man one, the info. Let's go. Where's the lag? Convoke cooldown. Speeds up the whole thing, having the 1 minute convoke in the end. That's some juicy stuff. But it's one of the powers that I generally delay because it only matters if I can get 2 convokes in a fight, and that's generally just a maybe floor boss, maybe the final floor boss switch and floor boss 12. For that point, it's kind of more of a nice to have type of thing.
You are hunted. Be wary.
Huh? Give me something good. That's the power of the con. Same thing again. These are debates. 9% crit is break 48% crit. Oh, is that a trinket active? The 420 trinket from Oldua. 36% crit base. Crit damage increases are so juicy now. All those big ass moons. One of the thing not many people are hyped for. getting a flat crit percent pretty good as well. Add in an extra dot to the mix. Not sure if that counts for the druid power that where you need the 3 dots on the target for 50% damage increase, but they're pretty damn good. And the moon's out. And that's the triple. We already used the code on him. Probably end up with a 1 minute one very fast. Perhaps let's get stay in 5 for less downtime. All these more reds are so nice. Rate at 48%. But I'm not worried. The more red power is always ending at 100%. Unless you get it really late. The more red power is basically the king of HP increases. The regular blue power is 45% increase. The more red is 100% increase. I would go as far if you're really having a rough time with this at the end. You could even reroll for the more red power at the start. And you will always have the big HP increase. Each creatures have a damage. Ramp. Or druids at least. Only the 25% crit chance increase. That's a good one. That's what I sacrificed 25% of my healing for. Other than that, fucking go away. I don't pick that like ever. So the boss is already kind of freed. You can explore this corridor while waiting for the cooldown. Straight up nothing here. The other one I already saw. That's when you have 3 periodic effects. They usually will be struggling with having 3 as a boom. That's another. I think that counts as a periodic effect. So it's kind of like always increase. Not a reason to have all my dots up. Probably. I think epic power is always good from. And this applies dots anyway. I love this power. This is so good. People may say, oh, the jumps. Fuck the jumps. 30% stamina increase and then have oh my 80k HP goes. I have 73k HP. I'm floor 5. And my stats are kind of because I don't have much gear, but 30% intellect and then stamina is so strong. I guess that I probably have some hidden agility stat as well, or something that would scale with guess. If it randomly uses, but I'm not sure about that. Alright, what do we have? Haste thing? Mandatory. Mandatory as well, okay. Those are all not what I want. I might buy that one if I have. I buy that. I will buy this for the Ravenous Anime Cell is kind of a bit of a special case because there's only really 2 powers you want to have. Like if it's the fire corridor where there's that nasty dot, you want to use it on a fire elemental so you get 65% fire absorption and basically negate the whole stacking. And if you get the corridor with the skeleton, some enemy called skeletal remnants, there were a lot of these elite skeletons in the previous corridor, you get a permanent skeletal pattern. Some enemies use the nasty targeted shit on them. So these are the 2 powers that are kinda king with this. So I take it as a safety if there's a fire corridor. For most part though. Take that one. That's not the time and stage where you want to go for something like that, because I can kill him without the immunity. I'm not that weak. Cannot buy anything more, but the last one wasn't there. Alright, I wait till you leave the house then, and then start. Just kidding. You're fine. It still takes a while for me to get through. And this does not count for the 3 dots. Just looked at the debuffs. Please Lucara Sash and Amber. Oh, I think it's called Lucara. It's Lucara Sash. Damn. I wanna have all of these. They're all so fucking strong. Permanent Heart of the Wild is Lucara's Bargain. Lucara's Bargain gets super strong. I basically have permanent 20% damage reduction from Barkston, from permanent Stampeding Roar, permanent Starfall, and Frenzied Region on demand by just swapping in bear form that I can theoretically. Lucara's Sash is basically the true druid power that makes druid so strong. And
city. The treacherous.
Oh, and this part.
All are bound here.
This is kind of useless for this part. Because whenever these leave the poo-poo puddles on the ground. And you can get immune to the poo-poo puddles. They don't actually do that much, to be honest. You can walk through them. Maybe it's worse for if you're not a healer. I can just like, oh yeah, 800 damage. Because it expects me to heal more in dungeons while doing mechanics.
You would make quite the suitable
Warriors. Buttons. Ras. They even do it in chat right now.
With reanimation comes eternity.
We did have one of the big boys then. I want to pull them fast into him. The access to Starfall, just such a big deal. It's a resto. I don't think Blizzard quite calculates the math around. Not that people really care that there's some ridiculous power. Very crazy in group play as well. Imagine giving everyone in the group stampeding raw permanently. Alright, let's wrap up. 870. What a joke. But I guess it's... these powers suck. If I pick that, that never shows up again. Even though Tiger Dash is... I already have so much movement speed, I don't need that much. I like how it killed the one first that doesn't revive. Very smart power. Must be Blizzard's advanced AI. Damage difference. The bark skill are up permanently and they always take the reflect damage apart. Buttons!
Buttons! You have my gratitude, Mawwalker.
25
It was not easy to construct buttons with the parts I had available.
I picked that.
We shall be on our way.
Oh shit. Yeah, that was kind of waste. So you have to do it in the old-fashioned way. Just clobbering them down. Didn't have it ready at the start. I didn't pay much attention to the code on there. Kind of my fault then. Not very good. Kinda. Whatever. Tough dice. Guess we picked that. Oh, what could that be? Is that a trap? I mean, at least I got to keep it. Pick that one. Shield is definitely a power that's good. The power you pick at the right time. And that time is not now. I've had 3 bosses with that before. Even the only root powers are alright. Wait, that's a bit steep. Cannot climb that. Oh, versatility. Versatility is always a very strong and appreciated stat. Because it's not only offensive, but also defensive. It has the best scaling potential for the finest stuff. That's the key. You have been hunted up there. Typically there are map layout is not, can be either here in this position or here, and they're kind of always swapped in, or it's random where they are. No jump. Gotta take a few tries to get.
You are hunted. Be wary.
There you go. Like these not power level growing enemies can't even kill me. I could just AFK there, swap in and out of bear form, and yeah, they would never get. I'm scared that it would put me in a compromising position. Now we have AoE interrupt. We have haste. Haste is not bad, but the utility out of that one, that's too unreliable. The utility out of that one is still kinda, haste is still really damn good. I'm trying to sucker for the stats. I guess stat should be king. Definitely not trap looking thing. These are rather weak, these guys. Oh, that's a rare chance that these drop these ravenous anime cells. We have two now. I definitely need to find a Mr. Skeletal. I think that's really good. The enemies cast time slowed. Uses the enemy damage and the Get the magic damage stacking now, so good to have. What I kind of really want to aim is where I become the line of sight. Next one is a shop floor. 300 is better than the prowl power because the prowl power will get up anyway. I get something nice out of it. I really need that Mr. Skeleton though. And like these locations aren't even randomized, they're always the same. Maybe that's where they need to have like sort of like a Diablo-esque system where there's more room for randomization instead of each door kind of being randomized as a whole.
For you, I offer only the finest.
HP increase. Mastery is not a... But if I wasn't resto, mastery would definitely be... Stats are king. That one is really strong as well.
You struck a hard bargain. Good
Okay.
show. Everything is negotiable.
Yeah. Damage exiting prowl. Kind of work, these two powers kind of work as the sort of small burst of. The one is just meme. I think that one.
You, I offer only the finest.
Alright, since
Remember, everything has value.
I think that one.
May I tempt you with my wares?
What are these? I want to have that
You
one.
struck a hard bargain.
Gotta-
Good show.
Oh, what a tough choice, but that one is not mandatory. That's a nice to have. That one is straight up super defensive. I become the line of sight now. Pretty good. Piece of every
All goods and
intellect.
services for sale.
Alright. Pick the potion as well.
Your patronage is
Wanna find a boss, and then I'm gonna forget it like always. I think I reached a point where I'm really confident in. I reckon. Can be chilling. It's like really feels good, man. Gameplay wise, kinda that should say gameplay wise we maxed out. That was really good too. Like you get 10 to 20% stat increase for using them. Using the cell on these guys. On an archer, that is. Only the archer gives that. 10% haste is better than not even a thing where you need to think about it. As boring as that is, stats is king. Nah, I don't really use these orbs. By the time you need them, that's a really strong one. Crit damage. We got some crit ups already, and the trinket is crit. Speed. Oh, that's so good. 15% max HP. Kind of powers like maybe another healer class. That one gives you so much HP or so much healing. All you need to focus on is as long as you don't get one shot, you basically win it with having a lot of HP. Alright, we get the code of retention. 1 minute. Oh, it's this one again. Five seconds I really have to blast off. That guy was stacking up quite high. That's the only thing that was mattering. That one stacking guy. Alright, pick the lock. Took one off. The 4. No, that's the 4. I'm blind. The 2, that's the 1. Alright. Red healing crit. Oh, that's usually where they have the rare guys in it. We're getting many this one, but got one generating. I was swapping off the cap from it, and the crit is increased, and then the staff what takes. Mastery in Bogmir form is. I guess my hot stick quite high then. But doing directly is when there's hots on the target thing. I wish Mastery would have some sort of offensive component, even if it's just minimal, just for the sake of maybe just in Torghast. That would be a neat little thing, wouldn't it? I'm strong enough to just straight up fight him. That will be for the druids that don't have one walk. It will be a minority kind of, but he's still strong even without it. You can get strong. No. And they're so terrible. But that one is still. I guess I can do it. Put all the dots on, growl, and then pop off. I guess that's the good. I guess I should be using that more.
Everything is negotiable.
Versatility is a good thing. I think that replaces the stamina one, so that's a really bad replacement. I don't know why that's a thing. Not good. They're all kind of horrible powers.
Remember, everything has value.
Pick emergency. That's really good because I have a high crit chance.
All goods and services for sale.
Now for the next, if I want to have a skeleton, Mr. Skeleton,
next action.
Wait. Red. No, I just put him out of it. Not feeling quite that strong, right? Yeah, we got it. That's power sun. And Heart of the Wild. Oh, I need a shopkeep. Then I will swap it. There's no point in having Heart of the Wild once you get that power. That's a good one. Using on the archers is so good. I think I got like so many. Get so much main stat out of 10 to 20% main stat increase just by using it. And make it for 2. Pretty easy if you know how to count binary. You know, it's still probably yet. Let's take the smart shot. Look at these archers are actually.
You are hunted. Be wary.
A bit more scary than it was in practice. After all. There's no backing now. Now the traps. Not good. Decent. I'm waiting for my walk to pop off on the gap. I like this power actually. It's very burst intense and it probably dies before it can fully recover. Because they do more damage in the recovery, that's why I can. As long as it dies before the recovery. That's kinda good. All the mains that increase that I picked up over the course really show on these stuff. That's why I throw it on the archers. Interceptors won't be archers, gotta be archers. I never realized or Canada's doing this, but archers are quite scarce actually. That's the random spawning ones that are the most likely. There was only one guaranteed archer. Doesn't steal as well, but the ones are archer. You get 68. That's 16 hour, that's pretty good. This is a straight up corridor. I guess that's this bad one. Oh, there will be another archer. Unfortunately, we don't have. I think I might be. Oh, I don't have much phantasma. Quick chains. If I crit chance, then the audit Stafford procs the arcane crit, the arcane damage thing on crits, which does 4.5k, and kind of why that does so much. Not actually that I have my Stafford itself is my Stafford itself is only critting for 1k, but then it basically turns into 5k with better. I think it hits actually out. Can't say that it doesn't. With the taunt play. I think that's kind of I think the stats, the other ones are not really anything that adds up anything. Doesn't really amount to anything yet. And we have another shop floor. Oh look, it's the. I think that's the guy that spawns when you die. He looks cool. Sup? How are you doing? I wonder what class can get powerful enough to actually kill that guy. Like if you at the end actually powering up enough to really kill. 3% boss is so good for.
You struck a hard bargain. Good show.
We pick that. 4 remnants.
For you, I offer only the finest. Your patronage is always appreciated.
Alright, that's worth it. I don't really know what this guy is. Not that fat either. Guess we find out. Oh fuck. Thought I missed. I got safer than that. Gotta get that mouse. Well, won't be underestimated. When I used my convokes and not fooling around, I'm using a convoke. Okay, now. I'm really using that stuff. That was the one where you get the undead friends, but it's a different one. There's the key. The key. I'm gonna hit the pole. That's stupid. Whatever. When the infighter is on my Starfall, just hits everything. Starfall ain't be falling around. Great. Still gonna be useful. Look at that. That I haven't finished the AFK power yet. It's brown. Still have to pick up Mighty Bash on the final floor. Forget about it. It matters. It does. I would have been the archer. That's why I also need them. Actually hurt really a lot, these archers. If they would constantly be shooting at me, I would probably take a lot of them. I would probably have to take it even slower. But they circle that I can line of sight them by outranging them. That's why I kind of picked that power good. It is just straight up back here. That's the room where you can drop down. I'm not sure if there's down there anything. Nah, there's nothing. Kind of funny, this is the first time I'm actually exploring that down. Wouldn't expect that it'd be in the level. was hesitating with it, but it's like, I have a minute cooldown on it. Why hesitate? Just fucking go ham. And the auto attacks. I didn't think of it that much in the last one. I think that's something that actually they... Maybe it's that the corridors are that small. There's not much room to get around, because I think I had more bigger corridors when I encircled them and then they were really good. Is this actually the right way? Crit chance? In terms of using it more, I feel like I'm playing really well with powers now. Using all the different... kinda need my big burst, my 1 minute convoke to take down these without turning into slog fiesta. Awesome. And you can see that I'm... Should I keep it? I want to keep it. I think that's a smart thing to do. Plus 17, I got the immunity power. I will miss out on a few powers, but with how physical damage is escalating here, I feel like that's definitely missing out these 2 powers is definitely something I can do. For the sake of having the... I want to keep weight a bit with using it. At the start I don't think I will necessarily catch a one-shot, hopefully. If not, then I accept. Alright. Let's do this.
May I tempt you with my wares? Until our next transaction.
Immunity on. And we did it. We won. I did it. I got the immunity power, but I would have been able to do it without, I think. I would have just needed to kite out more instead of smoking, because I got him to that HP pool, and I don't think he would have been able. I did it! Clear. Twisting corridors, done. I didn't even pick that. Abundance. Abundance of power, basically. But I feel like if you follow the guidelines of stats first, I think you can reliably. I never failed a single run on this druid. Other class might be more rough, but I think if you always go with stats, how many of those powers can I have for the that's kind of how you reliably, and always go for the HP. That's all I can say.